Yo, welcome to the Hive Hustle, the
Hey.
captivating podcast about street culture.
That's what it's
Whether
about.
that be crump, dancing, roller skating, music, hip hop, any type of culture that influenced me and helped me grow as a person.
It's official now. The Hive Hustle podcast about to sit you down. Go and fix your crown. This ain't a grain of salt. Pick your brain and thoughts, even through a major loss. Still remain a boss.
Now, today, dude, I'm sitting next to like somebody that I watched growing up. Like, I don't think y'all understand. You Got Served was the first, besides Breakin', You Got Served was the first movie that I seen growing up and like really wanted to make me dance. And I'm sitting here with one of the mans that was in it, Raz B. Welcome, bro.
What up, brother? Thanks for having
I
me, man.
appreciate you,
Nah,
man.
the love is real. I mean, we actually go back, about a year and a half now?
I think I first met you at like the skating rink.
Okay.
And I literally, I walked up to you. I was like, yo, like you need to understand like what you did for me. You get what I'm saying? Because like breaking was the shit.
No, breaking started it off.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying? But like after
real.
that, y'all was like top tier, man. Like everybody was dancing, but y'all took, like y'all made what we had in the underground literally like mainstream.
You know, I would say I'm always humbled the fact that when I'm greeted by different individuals like yourself, and you know, for another human being to take the time to acknowledge another human being takes a lot of strength, a lot of humility, and it says a lot about what your character is, right? Because you didn't have to do that, right?
Yeah.
Because I'm human just like you, but the fact that when you're working hard, you don't realize who you're inspiring.
Oh, yeah.
You know, because we all have dreams and admirations.
Man.
So, you know, being able to have my start in B2K and then and then shooting You Got Served, that was like one long ass dance video.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying,
literally,
for us.
dude.
And it felt right. It felt really good for us for the simple fact is that we earned the respect from the dance community.
Yeah.
And the fact that, of course, we can't take credit for it. You know, shout out to Screen Gems, Clint Culpepper, Chris Stokes, who put the video, who had the vision for the movie. A lot of people don't know that movie was called Dance, and it was actually written for Aaliyah and Genuine, and Elgin is Genuine's real name. Shout out to my boy Genuine.
Yeah.
You know, Leah was for Aaliyah. You know what I'm saying? So the vision, Dave.
So that was a long time coming.
Dave
that
was
vision.
Dave Scott.
Dave Scott, yeah.
Yep. Wade Robinson.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what that is.
I feel like, if I'm not mistaken,
Yes.
Shane Sparks was a part of it too.
Yeah, Shane Sparks was a choreographer.
Yeah,
so
he was just here the other day.
That's what I'm saying. So it was really dope. That's my boy. Shout out to Shane. You know what I mean? He's been doing his thing in the culture for a long time. So I just want to say this in closing, but like being a part of You Got Served, you know what I'm saying, was a no-name actor movie that did $15 million in the opening week during Super Bowl. So that was a great opportunity for myself to be a part of it, but I can't take any credit for it. So, you know what I mean? Shout out to everybody.
Yeah. Well, just to give you a little insight, man, because I know we know each other, but we know each other professionally, like
Right,
me
true.
as a web developer. You know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah, that's the space I met you in.
And just to give you a little insight, like the Hive Hustle, the podcast is specifically about street culture.
Got it.
Because I grew up in Vegas, bro. I was born in Chicago, grew up in Vegas, and I lived on the east side. The Skate Rock City, which is the skating rink now, was Crystal Palace.
Okay.
And that's home rink. I started
you.
going there when I was 12 years old.
I understand.
I grew up there, watched people roller skate, watched people dance. Like, that was my cascade. That was my world on wheels.
Yeah,
you get what I'm saying? I know you know what world on wheels is.
Go,
exactly.
Yeah, let's go. I
so,
hear
like,
you. I feel it.
Street culture shaped me.
Understood.
And being that I understand hip hop is for everybody.
Right.
But it's black culture. Regardless of what I feel, regardless of what I say, regardless of where I grew up.
Right.
My skin color is white. You get what I'm saying? So I want to utilize this to give back. Get people, like, not only Vegas, but the fact that I'm sitting here next to somebody that, you know what I'm saying?
Hip-hop was a spirit. It is a spirit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So hip-hop is diverse, just like God is diverse, right?
Definitely.
So there's no color lines between hip-hop and hip-hop culture. But, you know, I will say, you know, Chris Stokes being my cousin, you know what I mean, my first cousin, is my manager, I do take accountability for the little part that I did play in inspiring the culture. And that's why I'm happy to be on your podcast because of what you stand for.
It wasn't little.
No. But guess what? Look what you're doing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
Well, you're building your own movement. right?
Definitely.
And so I want you to be inspired and be encouraged. That's why I'm here today, you
Yeah.
know, to inspire all of your followers and the people that look up to you and stuff. Because once you understand the download and the knowledge, you definitely always want to pay homage for those that came before you and the ones that's going to come after you, right? But yo, you killing it, you crushing it. When you producing your dance movie,
I came with you.
come on,
Now, to get to the meat,
okay,
we know who B2K is. We know how you got into the industry. We
Right.
know you as a child. We know all
right,
that.
right.
But in your words, who is Raz B?
That's a good question. Who is Raz B? Man, a man of God, bro.
Okay.
Great heart. You know, a kind individual, someone that loves the Lord, someone actually that follows the Lord's teachings and guidance, right? And that's first and foremost, you know, because I feel like I found my purpose through finding myself, you know, spending time in China for 7 years. So the closer you draw close to self is drawing close to God.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's who Raz B is.
Got you. And just I'm not sure. I'm not positive if I know, but I watch on your stories sometimes. Like,
Okay.
what church do you go to?
Oh, wow. I
Is it
consider
Central?
myself an angel.
I got you. Okay.
So-
Because I see it on your stories sometimes. I'm
Well,
like, what church is he
Oh
at?
yeah, I'm a little angel. I like to pop around to different churches.
Okay. Because I go to City Light.
Okay,
If
that's-
you ever get a chance,
That's,
man,
that's
it's
dope.
a great church.
Yeah, no, I don't live in Vegas, but I do business here in Vegas.
Whoa. I
Yeah.
thought you've been living out here forever.
Nah, not at all. Not at
Okay.
all. When I came here for Dash,
Yeah, I remember.
yeah, I relocated from Atlanta.
Okay.
You know
so
what I'm saying?
like right now, you would say you're located in Atlanta?
I have properties in Atlanta.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, Raz moves around respectfully.
hey,
you know what
hey.
I'm saying? But for example, I've been working on a residency for the past few years. When I lived in China, I did residencies.
Yeah, I
But after having the success of the Millennium Tour, the numbers were crazy. I wanted to figure out a way to bring that same element, but park it somewhere. You know what I'm
That's-
saying? And I
that's-
think
that's that
Vegas.
Incoming money.
Yeah,
at a
yeah.
consistent
I mean,
pace,
yeah,
you
but
know?
beyond that, I definitely want to give Vegas something, right? It'll be my contribution to the Vegas scene. You know what I mean? Because Vegas needs people like yourself and myself to continue to do what we're doing to push the culture forward, right? But we also need bigger platforms. So, like you said earlier, you know, B2K was in a position to use our platform to give to the dancers that really propelled the dance community. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just happy to see that the dancers who are the backbone and the co-stars of the show, you know what I'm saying, get the respect and the light that they deserve.
Oh, yeah.
Because it was a phenomenal and a role
Yeah.
of dance movies and dance TV shows that people were able to be a part of it.
Because of You Got Served.
Because of You Got
like
Served.
literally, bro.
Right.
If I'm not mistaken, that movie came out, and right after that, it was So You Think You Can Dance. Right after
What
that,
happened?
it
Well,
was.
it was 2000. So Honey came out around the same time.
Yeah,
Shout
it
out
was
to
both movies. I think.
Yep. Shout out to Billy Woodruss and
Yep.
Jessica Alba, everybody that was in that movie. And that was super cool. But even I just gotta say this too. Those two movies in that time really meant a lot to everyone because it, like I said earlier, it really.
It shifted the culture.
Yeah, it put especially the
Dancers.
dancers. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know, that starts from crip walking and pop locking and all that. Like everything is universal. So
Yeah.
it's dance is an expression.
Yeah.
So I get it, bro. No, for real.
Definitely. Well, now looking back at your career, obviously it's been great, man. And what would you say was one of the fondest memories of like your career?
Yeah, no. Looking at some of the things that I've accomplished, for me, it's a blessing in so many words because it's a testament to my dedication, my discipline that it took for me to accomplish my dreams, right? So my career is ongoing, right? There's just evolutions to one's career, right? The responsibilities that you take on. Some of my fondest moments was seeing my vision come to pass. So that's just everything in a nutshell.
Yeah.
I can't just pick one defined moment because everything is ongoing.
It's just been great. Huh?
Yeah, the story is still being told.
Yeah.
And some people use that loosely, but they really, like, you have to be when you say that, not that you're revealing everything to the world, there's just more to the story. You know what I mean?
That's a different perspective for real.
Well, a lot of people may see, okay, well, back in the early 2003 and this, when the machine is super pushy, whatever happens to these other artists, right? They probably moved on to you don't want to say bigger and better things, but much is given, much is required. For example, I met you through Dash, through the Dash network, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't know, but, you know, I was brought in to see what was already being built and I wanted to add the pieces that can help accelerate the company to the next level. You know, we had Ray J come over and produce a few shows, like you know, but you know, that's a huge assignment. You know what I mean? Trying to build a network coming from a music industry and whatnot. So you know, you live and learn.
Definitely. Well, I would say this: we know you got some new music.
Yes.
So I heard Guidance.
Guidance is fire.
Bro.
Guidance is for the soul.
Man, definitely. I think a couple tears dropped.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah, literally.
That's what it's about.
I feel like you.
Let's talk about Guidance for a second. Let's talk about it.
Go ahead.
Let's talk about Guidance. What did you take from it?
Personally, it was. I've been in that position. That's how this started. That's how Swarm Brand started.
I love it.
Was me being, like I told you on the previous time we met.
Yeah, but tell me, tell me again.
I was on the verge of like being done. You get what I'm saying? And just to give you like transparency, I was walking down. There's a street down the street called Windmill. I was walking down Windmill from Spencer, and probably one of the worst times of my life, bro. And I jumped out into the street in front of a car.
Gotcha.
And the car actually moved.
Wow.
Like, I don't know how they did it, because you know when you see a car coming,
that's the angel.
If you running and you jumping,
that was an angel.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah,
and I looked up and I was like, okay, God.
Yeah,
I hear you.
You couldn't go if you wanted to.
Literally.
Nah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's how I knew he had his hands on me.
Yeah.
And right after that, I built the logo.
It's official now. The Hive Hustle Podcast about to sit you down. Go and fix your crown. This ain't a grain of salt. Pick your brain and thoughts, even through a major loss. Still remain a boss. Resonate with greatness. Celebrate creators. Ain't no blanket statements. Elevate and claim it. So amazed, I'm making the way for those in need. Mold the lane, showing change in the growing me.
Okay. Yeah, bro.
And
I understand.
I feel like Guidance was your, like your voice of telling everybody, like, look, I'm here, and I'm gonna do what I need to do. Mm-hmm. And so that's what I took from it.
Wow, that's deep. Yeah, that message is not just from me, but it's for everybody.
Yeah.
You know, there's guidance and that we need. You know what I'm saying, from the universe. You know, from the mastermind, brain, computer that we call God. You know what I'm saying. We got to be in tune, and it starts with taking care of yourself. You know what I'm saying. Like same thing for me, having these experiences at such a young age. You know, it's so important to stay focused, because guess what? You could be in the club drinking too much, or you could be out hanging around with the wrong crowds, and you get slipped up and get in. You know, you go run into the woods somewhere. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, that song, man. I'm telling you, it's crazy,
bro. You know that record came to me. Shout out to my boy Ryan. We spent a lot of time together as brothers, and he was able to. We were writing the record together, and he actually finished the record for me. You know what I mean? I flew everybody out to Miami, and I was still dealing with some trials and tribulations in my life and some things. I need to take some personal time to get my affairs in order.
Yeah.
And that was one of the records that reflected the things that I was going through. You know what I'm saying? So being transparent and asking God. It's also a song about love, but yo, I need guidance.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The guidance is there, but we have to be willing to receive it. You know what I'm saying? And grow from that and take the correction. So, you know, that's just the evolution of Raz B, the growth. Same thing for you. So kudos to us, bro. We out here pushing our brands, pushing our movements, pushing, you know, and being an asset to the world. And that's what it's about.
Yeah,
you know?
Definitely, man. And then right after that one, you switched up.
Talk to me.
Birthday thong.
Oh, yeah, listen.
You had to get one for the ladies, huh?
I'm an artist, bro. You know, as an artist,
I know.
You know, I should be able to express myself and not be and I think Eminem went through a lot of that. You know, he was making music, but he was inspired by what he felt and this and that, and you know, but there was a message and a story behind it. He needed to be able to relate to today's people. You know, if you listen to Birthday Thong, ladies, women, queens, this record Birthday Thong for me is a certified smash. So I want people to tune in and get the vibe. The message behind it is it's empowering. It's woman empowering. Yeah. And you know, I wanted to be able to make something that was still edgy, yet had what I would say had the respect and integrity for our women. Yeah. So Birthday Thong is for you ladies.
Definitely. Now, is this leading up to an album maybe?
The album has been done.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the album was done like 5 years ago.
Wow.
During that time, I flew my team out to Miami. I shot this whole studio down. That was right after the Millennium Tour, like in 2019. So a body of the work was created there. And maybe about a year and a half prior, I started cutting some records that reflected that time.
Of your life.
Yeah, of my life. Yet at the same time, Raz B's, I put out little music here and there just by being inspired. But I never actually say, you know what, I'm going to do a real project that has to do with the right team, do it the right way, because I know the right way to do a project. You know, you can easily just go in the studio and cut records, but there's a way to
work of art is
yeah.
different.
Thank you. Right. So the body of the work is done. I would say the last few records that I've cut is just shaping out the album. So to say, is there a project coming? Yes, I believe a project's coming with, possibly a documentary. Either a, my Bachelor the King show is kind of going back between name changes because it was House of Love, then it was Bachelor the King, then it's Boy the King. So, but I want to be able to capture all of the essence of my life, right, past, present, and future. Put it all in one, so I can. And then let the music be the soundtrack of my life, right? So for the narrative of anybody that may not know me, right? I would say essentially, get to know me. You know what I'm saying? You can't believe everything that you hear or see, but know through my transparency and my growth and my maturity and me taking accountability, like you said, with guidance is like I'm here and I understand, my work and what I got to do.
Man, that's good to hear, bros. Now. For up-and-coming artists,
Okay.
Obviously you've been in the industry for a very long time.
Yeah, man. Yes, sir.
What's your advice? Like, what do you have to say to new artists that want to be in a position like yours?
You 42. I mean, you don't want to be in my position. You know what I'm saying? You want to create your own lane, right? But I know what you meant by that. But we are inspired to grow, right?
Definitely.
Take your time instead of trying to instead of trying to jump from A to Z overnight. Enjoy the process of building yourself up. Enjoy the process of doing the work, right? Like, you're a phenomenal dancer. I didn't know that about you. I knew you from this space and from that space. But when I had a chance to go down the beehive, you know what I'm saying, go up in there, I was able to see that you've been putting in your work.
Definitely.
And you can show it. The things you do privately, God will reward you openly. So for artists out there that are inspired, know who you are. Spend time with yourself. Meditate. Take yourself out of your comfort zone and practice and harness your craft. While everyone's playing and out at the club, no disrespect to being in the club and partying, everyone has their own reasons why they're there. Make sure that yours is rewarding.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Make sure your why makes sense.
Exactly. Make sure your why makes sense.
Whatever you do, you know what I'm saying?
So,
man, hey, bruh.
That's
he's spitting game.
But for real, if you wanna rise, and then you got to be prepared for the distractions that come around. You got to stay focused, because the distractions are going to be everywhere. So when you get on your regiment and your path, and all the tools have been left there for us already. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of inspiration of a lot of great people that's come before us, a lot of people that's around us. You know what I'm saying? To be inspired to be great. You know what I'm saying? Like, people perish from a lack of knowledge. So it's like, don't get so caught up in the world. Understand who you are first in the world and how you can be an asset. Once you figure that out, you understand the platform, you understand what type of music you wanna talk about, what your message, what your purpose is, and then you'll be right where you need to be. But just take your time.
Definitely.
For sure.
Take your time.
Take your time.
Hey. So now I want to know this because obviously I've watched you from back in the day. You know what I'm saying? Like, B2K was literally my shit.
The B2K is fire.
Like, your current music, since like when I first seen you at Crystal Palace, and then like when we reconnected at Dosh, I started doing like my research on Apple Music. So I was like, I found the NDA song, which
NDA
like
is fire.
Like I just told you, like that song to me was like so dope, especially like with the remix with Cassidy. But like, who are some of the artists that inspired Raz B's sound and who you are?
The fact that I still love music and I've been able to grow into the space, I feel like I abandoned it for a while. Like, I was at the studio learning how to engineer, learn how to mix records, and then I feel like I kind of got away from music.
Music, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So just to be inspired to go into it, it was more on the level of having the understanding of my platform, an expression of how I feel, what I'm going through, what message do I want to convey to the people, what story am I telling diagnostically, overall, right? So I've been started to I was like, you know what, if I'm going to make music, make sure I'm making music with integrity. So the people that's inspired my sound is everyone in the world that makes music. I know it sounds kind of crazy, but I could say Michael Jackson and Immature and so many other groups. Soul For Real, Jodeci. It's James Brown, Phil Collins, Blackmail. You know what I'm saying? Nirvana, Avril Lavigne. Like there's a lot of things that actually influences my music. Pink. You know what I mean? All these different people. When I'm in the studio and I'm writing, especially when I was in China, I was doing a lot of EDM, K-pop music. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, for real. So it was pretty cool because, a lot of the stuff that I was making reflects where I'm at now. Yeah. I'm headlining EDM festivals and cannabis festivals and stuff like that. And that's kind of, I'm very alternative and really retro. You know what I'm saying? So my music is just a mixture of everybody.
Definitely.
For real. What's going on today? What we shout out to Cisco. That's Mr. Thong Man himself.
Hey,
that's my brother.
I was just listening to one of his songs
the greatest,
in the car the other day.
One of the greatest to ever do it. Cisco is amazing. I would say definitely a dear friend of mine. And I see, when you send out your messages on Instagram, you can kind of see who checked you out. So he knows about the birthday thong. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully I got his blessings for the birthday thong. Cool.
So speaking of artists, Cisco.
Yes.
Top 5 R&B artists, past and present.
Man, top 5 R&B artists. Well, there's so many of them out there. So many amazing top 5. Ooh, this is I'm gonna name. Ooh, whoa, that's deep.
Come on,
you said artists, not groups.
No. Yes, okay. Artists. Now, don't get me wrong. If one of them, one of your top 5, right. Like if one of your top 5s is Immature, right. That's a top 5. You know what I'm saying? Regardless if it's Marcus Houston or Immature, it's still
right,
you know what I'm saying?
No, definitely. I would definitely have to put Immature in there. That's one of mine. I would be lying to myself if I didn't give them the props that they deserve because they definitely freaking inspired me. So they're definitely on my list. Michael Jackson,
obviously,
for sure. Like I have to put him on Mount Rushmore. Yeah. So I'm gonna probably just take him out the list.
Yeah, literally.
No disrespect.
Literally, he's Mount Rushmore for sure.
There's so many artists that came before him that paved the way for him.
Yeah.
But Michael intentionally became Michael Jackson, and he was a student of the entire body of everybody's work. Therefore, he deserves to sit there. But it takes a village to raise a child, so he wouldn't have got there by himself. But you put Immature in there. Gotta shout out them. Who else really got me? Growing up, Usher.
Okay, I was.
Genuine. You know what I mean? And
so that's 4.
And then all my groups starting with Boyz II Men.
There we go.
You know what I'm saying? Because there's so many. Jodeci, Drew Hill, just Idea, Next, H-Town. Shout out to my boy Shazam O'Connor, man. Y'all don't know if you've seen this, but did you see the Strokey Dokey challenge, man?
That's crazy.
Shout out to my man. He got his record went #1 on iTunes. It's top 20. On the R&B charts right now. Speaking of R&B, shout out to him. He's still doing his thing. You know what I'm saying? After all of these years, and we were able to come into my cousin, Little Raspberries. He likes to sneak in and come in on my shit.
Little Raspberries crazy.
Yeah, that dude's pretty interesting, man. And but he actually came in and made the campaign pop off. So shout out to everybody in the contest. I'm not sure when this is airing. It may be over or maybe still going on, but just to be a part of something that was for the culture. Yeah. And shout out to R&B. So I think that's my 5.
So, okay.
Yeah,
now
5 or 6.
Presently.
Okay.
From I would say 2010 till now.
It's official now. The Hive Hustle podcast about to sit you down. Go and fix your crown. This ain't a grain of salt. Pick your brain and thoughts, even through a major loss. Still remain a boss. Resonate with greatness. Celebrate creators. Ain't no blanket statements. Elevate and claim it. So amazed, I'm making the way for those in need. Mold the lane, showing change in the growing me.
snap. Oh, okay. I'm gonna switch it up a little bit. I'm gonna say, pop artists.
Okay. Yeah.
So we're gonna throw in, and I'm gonna jump around with a few years.
Okay.
I'm gonna say NSYNC,
Obviously.
Destiny Child,
Okay.
TLC,
Okay. Yeah.
and just because her work ethic is so crazy and she's so phenomenal, I'm really loving some Beyonce. You know what I'm saying? And then I'm really crazy about Avril Lavigne and Kelly Clarkson. Their music, like I need Kelly Clarkson to drop another record, bro.
Okay.
Like, you know what I'm saying? I love my pop artists. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
they be crushing.
They be killing it.
Yeah. Did you see this Blink? I forgot the name of the song, but Blink 182 just
They
dropped
just
a
came
record.
out with something, didn't
Yeah,
they?
bro.
Yeah.
Blink 182 is fire.
And I just
That
heard
song-
NSYNC going on a reunion tour.
I've been
I
hearing-
think somebody inspired some people.
I think we all inspire each other. I think we all inspire each other. I remember winning an award back in 2004. Well, B2K was nominated, won an award, Soul Train Awards. Yeah. And I was able to attend, and which I was very fortunate enough to pull up, and they allowed me to be in there. And it was crazy because we actually won.
Yeah.
So I collected the award on behalf of us, and I was sad that day because I was like, man, here we are. We worked really hard to get to where we're at. And I remember Beyonce was the girls were in the elevator with me, and I was crying. She gave me this hug, and she was like, it's going to be okay. And I looked up, I don't know, maybe years later, Beyonce made it known it's okay for you to go back to your group. You know what I'm saying? And, big kudos to Beyonce for, always looking out for her group members and stuff like that. So I think it's an evolution. I would say she inspired, you know what I'm saying? Because sometimes solo artists, or they may break out, it'd be hard for them to find their way back to the group or whatever people may be going through personally in their life. It's hard to come back to the foundation of what you built. So I'm pretty sure, I hope the rumors are true, but they did just release a single on the Trolls, soundtrack. Yep. They did make some appearances. Yep. I think it's super nostalgic. I mean, Justin has done so much for himself.
And I've been seeing them on, like, there's people like campaigning for this reunion tour to happen.
Hey, I think the timing.
I think it's right.
I mean, listen. I hope that inspires my group too. Again,
let's go. Hey, I told you on the phone, I didn't get to go last time, so
that'd be crazy if that happens.
I would love it. Yeah. Now, if you could give, if you can go back and give like your younger self any advice, what would you say?
Oh man, if I can go back in time and give my younger self some advice, it seems like I'm always traveling back in time, but it would definitely be to slow down, pay attention to all the wisdom and advice and resource that's been given to you to keep you from making the mistakes and bumping your head, right? So, maybe just correct the wreckage of my past, because when you're young, you can get misled. Yeah. You can say stuff that don't really need to be said. There's some things there's just certain ways you need to carry yourself in life. You know what I mean? And I felt like those are one of those things that kind of got me off my path, because when you build a platform and you're up here, there's certain things you just can't participate with anymore because they'll take you off of what you're doing. What you're doing, right?
You don't want to get distracted or sidetracked.
Yes, I feel like I could have saved a lot of time from those distractions, but I thank God, and I thank my family and my support for allowing for being there for me in my path of growth and greatness. Right? Because you got to bump your head sometime to grow. I just wish I didn't have to bump my head, and we don't. But it's just something about us when you grow, you want to be rebellious. You want to try it on your own per se. You know, it's not a bad thing. You want to try it on your own, but you bump your head. But you have the resource right there to do it right.
Yeah, literally.
So I mean, that's
and ultimately, I look at I heard this statement a long time ago, and I don't know who said it first. I don't know where it came from, but turn your losses into lessons.
Turn your losses into lessons.
Yeah,
man.
And that right there, it made me not afraid to lose.
I wrote a song called Lessons. It was called Lessons. I've learned my lessons. Yeah, it's about taking accountability too, you know. Yeah. But thank God for people's grace and mercy. Thank God for
God's grace and mercy.
Yeah. Because God has a way of turning people's hearts and stuff like that. So you know what I mean. Because
now
it's deep.
Last question.
Oh, wow.
Okay. First and foremost, before I even ask you this, bro, I just want to say thank you because I look at you and your story and I see a lot of like what I've went through. underrated, underappreciated. All I see is this around you, and probably some people ain't even got to know you. And I feel that because obviously I've been through it. You don't know a lot about my personal life, but
yes, sir.
My wife isn't my first wife. I was married before. I was heavily involved in Christianity and like church. Like I went to church 4 times a week.
Gotcha.
I was at Tuesday morning prayer at 6 a.m.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And my first marriage really shaped my life. And when that went downhill, a lot of people shifted and a lot of people viewed me and there was a narrative about me.
Wow.
And so I appreciate you coming from somebody that you inspired. I appreciate you, and I want you to know that the culture does appreciate you.
Nah, I appreciate you, bro.
You know what I'm saying?
Thank you.
And like the last question is this.
No,
Obviously,
that's love. I appreciate that.
yeah, man. Come on.
Thanks for sharing that.
Ultimately, dude, like I seen that when I first started working with Dash. I seen that, like I've wanted to tell you that. You know what I'm saying?
love.
And you mean the world to people. You know what I'm saying? So
Thank you, brother.
And the last question, bro, is simply everybody knows the rumors. Everybody knows everything. But what do you want to say about whatever is there? What do you want your fans to know?
That's
Like,
heavy.
You know what I'm saying? Raz B is who Raz B is. And what do you want to tell the people?
That's a good one. Well, first, I thank you I commend you for sharing that with me and pouring into me as a brother. I want to see people win. I'm here to build.
Let's go.
I'm here to add value to any situation that I'm a part of. I'm here to love. I'm here to learn. I'm here to lead. You can't enroll into your future driving in reverse gear.
Amen.
And, it's a lot of pressure dealing with the world. It's a lot of pressure growing up as a man.
Yeah.
It's a lot of pressure with becoming enlightened. And it's a lot of pressure with much is given, much is required.
Yeah.
So you got to be careful what you pray about. Because a lot of people have said, why me? I would tell God, why not me?
Yeah.
So when I'm going through something hard, it's the strength of the Lord that really has sustained my mind, has sustained my drive.
Yeah.
To
keep going.
To keep going. But most importantly, like I believe in family. So like I've carried, I don't want to say the cross or the burden of family and brotherhood, but it's so important that you understand that the platform you've been given. If you have a group that's inspired millions of people, how do you use that for the kingdom of God? Right? Yeah, you've inspired people, but now there's another chapter in that phase. How do we stand into? So I commend NSYNC for coming back together, for the culture. You know what I'm saying? All of us, whether whatever color that we may be, that's huge. They've done a lot of they've done a lot for the world. Yeah. So me, I'm a visionary, and what I want people to know is that I love and I care for people's well-being, even at my own demise at times. Yeah. Right. And as a true leader, you can't be afraid to risk your public image, to send a message, to fix things, to take accountability, to learn from the influential energy that's been left behind. You know what I mean? From great man that's walked on this earth, our Lord and Savior, but he also said there would come those that would do greater works than I have. Yeah. Right. And, but yeah, that's me. And if you don't know me, you should get to know me. Definitely.
Hey, man, it's been an honor.
Likewise.
I'm appreciative of you.
Yeah, it's an honor.
This is the Hive Hustle.
Yes, sir.
The podcast where we delve into street culture.
Come on, let's go, baby.
Like, subscribe, do all that good stuff that you need to do. I'm appreciative of y'all, and we'll see you soon.